Welcome to Coily Crowns. I'm Ashante.
And I'm Lori, and welcome to our Queendom.
Welcome. If this is your first time joining us, we are the Coily Crowns and we discuss all things reality from our daily lives to reality TV. So, this episode, we recap Married at First Sight, season 12, located in Atlanta. So, we are coming up towards the end of this season.
Yes.
And on this episode, the couples are having their last, leading up to their last day together before decision day. So, couples are married at first sight, as the title says, and they get to know each other for 8 weeks, and then they make a decision on whether they want to stay married or get a divorce. So, the first couple that make their appearance on
Well,
the oh
before we get into this, this
okay.
this episode was just fluff on fluff on fluff on fluff. I feel like we didn't need 2 hours of this. That's
No.
number one. And they could have made this because I'm thinking they're probably going to split decision day into two. This could have been a part of the decision day episode.
Yes, I
Or
agree.
or half of it could have been when they were in the where were they, Hilton Head,
Hilton Head. Mm-hmm.
and then kind of flow into okay, last night, meeting with people before decision day on that episode. I just don't know why we needed all of this.
Don't they
And then,
always stretch it all out that it really could be
but it was
condensed?
like boring. There was like nothing that happened. I
Listen,
mean, I
I
know it was
have
stretch, but
half a
something.
notes. I have half a page of notes maybe for each couple because it really wasn't a lot going on this episode.
Yeah. So then there's that because I was just like, what is this? I was just like in and out of the episode. And
Yeah.
then no more Chris and Paige. So for
Nope.
the last 2 or 3 episodes, we haven't seen
These
them.
3 weeks. Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, do you feel like they're not showing them because they come back for decision day? So it's not like they're gone forever. But I'm wondering if they're not showing them because of the backlash that they have received because of this pairing. Like maybe they did film stuff, but they're just not putting it in the episode because,
I don't think so.
no?
Because no, because I think they would have already edited most of this to be shown, and we're watching it now, seeing what happened. So I don't think they would go back and re-edit to remove them.
They could.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yes.
saying they could, but I don't
That's
know if
why I think
they.
it's so boring. I feel like they're just because
Which is why I think they wouldn't do that because they know most of the ratings was had to do with them. And I know I'm kind of contradicting myself there because I'm thinking, yes, they would probably edit them back in, but I think they were like, okay, y'all just chill. And maybe they respected, they asked not to be involved at this point also. No? Why are you giving me that face?
who asked? I'm sorry. Wait.
Paige, like I can see Paige say, you know what, I've already been through enough. Please, no,
You
don't
can?
put me.
No.
Why can't they can ask? I mean, I feel
I
like they may have respected, especially maybe the experts may have said, okay, listen, they've been, she has been through enough. They're gonna come back. They have to come back for decision day. So let's give them a couple days. What else would they be showing? They're not together, right?
but they be showing that whole time. He asked for a divorce day two. So,
Yeah.
and they still was in every single episode except for these last three. And we're on episode 16. So I don't
But they were
know.
still communicating and still trying, I think, work that. Well, she
You
was
told
still
me that
trying.
they still hunching. So I
Well,
feel exactly. So they still communicating.
maybe
If
the
they hunching.
producers didn't know that. I don't know.
I know, but that's why I just don't. I don't. It's a TV show. I always say that
Ratings.
they care about the ratings more than they care about the people. Maybe the experts care about the people, but they're not in control. They are a part of the TV show.
Right.
They're paid people to be a part of the show. So production, I think, would included them, and I feel like they would have taped them because they didn't think that this whole thing was going to blow up the way how it did. Because it was just like people just turned on this show when
Wait, so are you were saying that you think they've tape them. They just didn't include it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree with that. I feel like they probably did continue to
Oh,
tape.
okay.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. That's what
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah, I think they definitely probably still tape, but I think it was like, you're not giving us nothing. You're not doing nothing. So yeah,
yeah,
we're not going to include it.
yeah. Because
That's what
even
I
like I would think they'd be in like a montage, how they'd be showing them separate, like this one, that one, or whatever. But they haven't even brought them up, no mention of their names in any scenario. It's as
right.
if they never existed, which I think is interesting to me that you have all these people start a process, they all go on a honeymoon together, they all know each other. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
early seasons when people didn't know that they were a part of the same show
Right.
and they don't mention their names, they don't show them, they don't give an update. It's just
They
zero.
never existed. Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
no,
I just
I go ahead.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say yes. So I agree that they probably continue to tape, but it was nothing there. Or like Paige may have asked, you know what, please just there's nothing here. Don't include
Mm-hmm.
this. And they
Mm-hmm.
may have respected that because yeah, there is nothing here. We don't want to show you just moping or maybe she is living. Well, no, that would be more interesting if she went back to like living her best life and just dated or
Yes,
something.
that would
But
be to
that wouldn't
me.
be part of the show though. It's
I would love
very
that. I would love her just even if because it's a 2 hour program. So
right.
showing someone for 5 minutes in the whole thing, or Chris for 5 minutes, I don't see how that would be like, oh my gosh, this is so much that we wouldn't show them. It's just like they just disappeared into thin air. And I think that's interesting. But I could be totally off with that point. It's just funny how they just kind of poof, and now they're going to come back for decision day. So, anyways, we can start. Those are my two little notes, my observation of this process at this point.
Okay. Okay. So then Haley and Jake
Mm-hmm.
are the first couple that I recall that we got to really see.
Mm-hmm.
And they flash back to Hilton Head and how Jake just got up and left and didn't even buy no nothing or
I
told
didn't
anyone he was
even notice
leaving.
he took his meat out of the fridge. I
Oh
didn't
no, I
know
saw that.
that.
I put that like in a garbage bag, right? I forgot to mention that last week. I had that written
I
down
didn't see
too.
that. I
No,
was
I
just like,
saw
you just
that.
go take. Okay, I mean, you don't want to waste it. Everybody's leaving that day. It's just funny that they showed that. Now you tell me they're gonna show him packing up his meat. They can't show Chris and Paige for 2 minutes
He's
with a
still on the
small
show though.
update. Oh my god! Let's show him packing up his meat. Let's show him going over here. Let's show him. I'm like, what's going on? Okay.
So yes, he packed up his meat and left and didn't tell anyone. And then when Haley gets back to the apartment, he's chilling. And so he tells her that, well, first of all, Haley was like, oh, I thought we were in a better place. I
I
thought we
don't
were
know what
doing
she talking
good.
about.
Huh? Like, why did you assume all of that from a little vacation that y'all drove separately to and had one good night in being
She
able
be
to
faking the
know each
funk.
other?
She pretending. She need to stop.
So he says he got back because he was worried about the dogs and had to go take care of them and everything. And
Stop. Jacob, stop it. Just tell the girl the truth. If that was the case, you would have sent her a text message or something like, I gotta leave early. I saw this. Even if it's quick, like, I'm sorry, I gotta dip out.
yes, and that I wrote that too. You still could have left a note, not even just for her, for everybody, just on the table. Hey, I had to leave to get back because, like we said, nobody knew he had left. He didn't tell anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my comment on that. That he should at least he still could have left a note or sent her a quick text saying I'm heading back. Because isn't her dog there too? Like, what do you want to say? Hey, I want to go check on our dogs. Or
I
your
don't know.
dog?
Maybe her dog is with somebody else.
Oh,
Because their dogs don't get
maybe.
along. That one dog. So I don't know if they would have left him at his neighbor's house, that extra dog.
Oh, yeah. I thought. Well, I just assumed that was like at the beginning. By now, maybe they had gotten to know each
Maybe.
other better.
I wouldn't have thought they would put their dogs together but drive
Maybe.
to somewhere separately. That'd be
I
weird.
thought, okay, so did he leave the dogs at the apartment and the friend was coming to feed and walk the
I
dog,
was
or they went
I
to the
was
friend house?
confused by that too. I thought the dogs went to his friend's house, but then he said he saw them on the camera. So maybe they were at his house, his original house, and his
Oh,
neighbor was supposed to go by and check on him. But
okay.
he said he saw them on the camera. They were just looking at the door. So I think they were probably at his house, and the neighbors would go put food down and then let him out
Well,
maybe, and then come
yeah.
back.
Okay. See, I was thinking like maybe at the apartment still, which is why I was thinking maybe her dog would have still been there, but
Oh,
maybe
but
not.
the fact that he said it was his neighbor, I would think it would be back to his house. But who knows? Anywho, he could have
Yeah.
sent her a note, text something, smoke signal, anything. Just be like, I'm out. But he is over the situation. He don't care about her. He's not in a relationship with this girl.
Yes, it's the
It's a
countdown.
bad date. Bad first.
The longest first date ever.
Oh Lord. So the only other note
Oh,
I have for them is that they go out to dinner, and I wrote, just break up already, because I'm just over it. He puts, I think
oh,
he says it in his confessional that he's pushing on 40, or he is 40, and he just he would hate to have to start over again at this point. So he wish it could just work. And I was like, that's what we've been saying this whole time. He will do what he needs to do to make it work, but he's also not somebody who's just going to ignore that she's not attracted to him and that she don't like him. That's what he can't get past that. I don't think anybody could get past being in a relationship where the other person don't like you.
right.
Like, how? And I was watching something the other day on YouTube where the people were just like, yeah, he wants like more physical connection, like a touch, a hug, or whatever. But if you're not that type of person, then you can't force that person to want to do that. And I'm like, Haley never said she's not that type of person that doesn't like physical touch. Never seen her say that.
Yeah.
She hunched him, she hugged him, she kissed him on the wedding day. And you can't tell me that's a person that don't like physical touch. Okay? So she just don't like him no more. And she don't want
So
to touch him no more.
at the end of like I think it was after dinner the next day, they both had these big smiles, like they may have done something the night before. Did you get that same impression?
Oh, at dinner?
After dinner, it was after dinner the
It
next
did.
day before they
Yeah.
were getting ready to leave. They were kind of smiling and talking like, "Oh, last night was a good night" or something like that. So I was
They
kind of
said
like,
that. And
"Hmm,
I was like, but no. I just I remember seeing that too, and I was just like, why are they making it seem like they did something? But I can't imagine that they would do all of this, and then the day before they're supposed to go decision day, that's when they're
going
gonna get
hunt."
together. I don't know. I just didn't see it, but it could happen. You never know. Get a little libations and relaxation, and
This could be our last time. Maybe we should do it one more time just to make sure. I don't know, but yes, they did definitely edit it to make it sound like something may have happened that night.
yeah,
But who
yeah.
knows? Um, any comments with Haley and or Jake when they met with their friends, family?
Just her, she's just annoying to me because she brings up the fact again about his last 10 years. I didn't even write this down because I'm like, girl,
Why are you
you
still on
asked
it?
him directly. He answered it. You said, oh, that makes sense. So that means it didn't make sense because you still talking about it. Like, what did you do? You say you haven't been in a relationship since you were like 21. So what were you doing for the last 10 years? Traveling? So you want him to be traveling too? That would that make it better? Like, what are you talking about? I'm just like, oh, you haven't been married, you haven't had a long term relationship. You didn't either. What is the problem?
So I wonder, they have a age gap, and I think that maybe that comes into play here because I think she's like 27, 28. So the last 10 years for her were graduating from high school, college, graduating from college, and then kind of living her life in the her mid 20s, where he's more he's is 38, 39. So those are more your professional years, and 30 where you are more concentrating on getting your house, building his house, which is he was doing, and working. So I think that kind of gives you a lens of why, in her mind, she was maybe expecting him to have done more because she was doing more versus maybe him where he was more focused on trying to find the right person. Things that he told her. I was dating, trying to find a wife. I was building my house and doing things with the house. And then, his own professional career.
I feel like they're both on this show. So your age difference, you're in the same place. You're both trying to find someone that you want to be as a life partner. So your past of dating and not finding the one is the
Mm-hmm.
same.
It is.
So I don't know why she indicated to her friend that that was a red flag. Not that it was like confusing, it's a red flag. Like, and then his humor. Those are the two things that she was just like, those are
The
red
only
flags.
two
And then
things.
usually red flags is like, this is a no go. Like, I can't get past this. He can't change the last 10 years. So if it's already a red flag, what's going to change with that? Humor, maybe that will change. Maybe if you're around somebody, you kind of understand where their humor comes from, that can grow or diminish or whatever. But he cannot change his past. So if that's already a red flag for you, which is still weird to me,
It
then
is.
that means it's already a no-go. I don't understand how that I don't know. I feel like she's just trying to find something
She is.
to
She's
not
just trying to
say
find
what it really
ways.
is. You don't like his face, just like Chris didn't like Paige's face, or you don't like the size of his penis, or you don't like the smell of his foot, or you don't like his hairy body. Like, those are things that make sense to me that you're just not attracted to him. Stop trying to make it seem
It's
like it's
coming
not.
up with things that, yeah, making
It
them
just
bigger
don't make
than what
no
they are.
sense. Just say why you don't like him. Because he wears cowboy boots. We gonna get to somebody who looked crazy this episode going out somewhere. I'm gonna get to it. So I just
Ooh.
can't. Oh, I'll tell you. So if that is your ultimate no go is that he wears cowboy boots, girl, please just kick rocks. Get on. Leave this man alone.
And then for them to kind of leave it as her like, well, I don't know. Well, maybe
No, she
something
just
can happen.
no, nothing
Maybe
gonna
we
happen.
can work this out.
No, nothing. Zero. Stop playing. Get gone, girl.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess at the end of this, we'll make our last predictions of who's gonna
Yes,
stay
I have
together
that.
or not. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, moving on. So who do you have next?
Okay, so I have it out of order, but Virginia and Eric were next.
Hmm.
Because I put them sometimes I write my notes where I think there's gonna be a lot of notes.
I got it.
There was no notes. So Eric, I just have Eric meets with his friends and they proceed to go through
The
a
flashbacks.
montage of every time he gave her an ultimatum or told him that if this ain't happening, I'm out. And then he has the nerve to tell his friend, I don't know why she thinks that I want to leave. Like, I just don't understand. Like, maybe she's misinterpreting what I'm saying to her.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Which
no, you are misinterpreting your own words. That
listen,
I'm done means this relationship is over if you don't do X.
yes. And last week, I don't think we end up mentioning it, but he even says, like, oh, in the car ride, I don't give ultimatums. And I remember thinking, you don't do what? Sir, this would have been a good time to have those flashbacks as well.
They were
Like,
saving it for this. They were just like, it's
we
coming.
go add them up. Yes.
It's
Because it's like, Eric, sir, when you go back and watch this, I hope you be like, oh, shoot. Like, that's what I was doing the whole time. Yes. You were the one giving mixed signals. But yeah,
a
love
mess.
that part.
A mess.
What else? So I also wrote that with the friends, both friends, that they asked the right questions. Well, for Virginia, that friend asked the right questions because Virginia was trying to gloss over a lot of things, and the friend would end up pinpointing those issues that they've had. So I can't remember exactly what Virginia said when she was talking about some of the challenges, but she wasn't saying like the housing situation and ultimatums that he gives. She was trying to gloss over it and give that, oh yeah, we're good. We
But
have our little
I
challenges.
think she glosses over it, but then she also, there's like something there that if you're her friend or you're someone from the outside, you know something is wrong. It
Mm,
doesn't sound like rainbows and fairy dust, it just sounds like, oh no, we working out everything, but it also sounds like they're in dire straits at the same time without any detail. So that's why they're probably just like, but wait, and then this and then that. Then she's just like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta talk about it.
yes.
I don't know, but they talk about the same thing. That's the problem. I still think she is just trying to put a hard line in the sand because
Hmm.
she doesn't want Eric to fully take over her life, and she's just
And he
not ready
becomes
for
her
it.
number one.
I just, sir, I don't know. I don't know. I wrote down that Eric is so fake. I hope she says no, because he be pretending. Now I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't want it on TV, and he doesn't pretend with her, like But he just seems like he wants everything to look okay, and you could see she's cracking under the pressure of trying to hide stuff. Cause she's just like, yeah, everything's
Yes,
good.
I think we already knew some of that he was being very fake for the cameras and trying to
Hmm.
present himself one way. And then last week he made the comment about the cameras
Yeah.
that really solidified that. Oh, okay, so you really are trying to look and present yourself as this one way,
Yep.
where behind the cameras you probably, and they showed us a little bit of that footage when the camera crew wasn't right there, right? They still have cameras in the house when they
Hmm.
got into it and stuff. So you can see, oh, they definitely have some ish. Well, we know they have issues, but it's probably deeper and
Yeah.
happens way more often than we know about. And he probably does really reveal his true self, which, like you said, she is probably still trying to also present herself one way on camera and have that kind of like solid front with him. But you can see it's not working. It's cracking. She's cracking, like you said.
Yep. So she
Okay.
just be like, I want my cats to sleep on top of me in our same bed. And I want to go spend the nights at my friend's house anytime I want to. Because I think she knows that annoys the heck out of him.
Yeah, those are her demands. And if you can't meet them, okay, bye bye.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Eric crying on that last episode, that last
Oh my
date.
God. I didn't even write that down. I was just that's probably where I wrote that he's so fake. Stop it.
Yes, they were on their little last day. Each couple go on like a last day, before they separate the next day. And he was like, "Your smile, you just light up the
I just
room."
love it. I just anytime I see it,
Right.
I just want to be around it. I just love it. And I look at her face and she's just like, okay. Mm.
Yes.
She just look like she don't. I don't know. She looked like she passes BS. Just say no.
Oh, okay. My last comment, the whole soulmate comment.
Oh, what she
So
said.
yeah, he was like, "Do you feel like believe in soulmates or whatever?" And she was like, "Well, do you think that I'm your soulmate?" And she's like, "But did you think that with your ex-wife?"
Hmm.
Yeah, so maybe you don't really believe in soulmate. How do I know that I'm really your soulmate? So I was like, "Oh, okay." Another reason to probably be like, "Yeah, no, add it to my list of not why I'm not gonna stay with
Yeah,
this man."
she don't want it. Yeah, I don't have
Okay,
nothing else from them.
that's it for me, girl.
Okay.
Uh,
So do you have Vincent and Brianna next?
we can go to them.
All right. So I just love this. They remind me of Woody and Amani. They was their opening scene was talking about the other couples, like, "Ooh, who do you think is gonna say yes on decision day? Ooh, who do you think is gonna say no? You think there's gonna be any surprises?" And so I just thought that was cute how they were just like snuggled up talking about the other couples.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he says that, I don't know. They start this conversation about her bringing up the fact that he's disorganized and that she can help him with that. And I guess he took offense to that. Basically, I guess the opposite of, oh, you being disorganized, maybe that means I'm dirty or I'm messy or
Mm.
I don't have control over my life and my household. Because you could kind of go off the deep end by something that's seemingly small for the other person, but it could equate to something else from on the other side, if you think about it that way. So I guess he got his feelings hurt. So he figured, I'm going to take the daggers out and I'm going
Oh,
to say, remember when we were getting married and they were talking about how bossy you were? And I was just like, I specifically asked the experts not to have an assertive woman. I was like, dang, Vincent.
but wait, there was more. Come on.
So he didn't want nobody to be direct with him. He didn't want anybody that was, telling him what to do, because he's had someone like that in the past and it did not work out well for him. So he asked for that specifically.
Right. But then he goes on to say how when the family at the wedding was saying that she was bossy, he told her, "Oh, I was turned off." And then that made her start feeling a type of way like, "Oh, my husband is turned off by me." And that then causes friction on the other end. So they're now both in kind of like this situation where they're like having friction with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So my note here is I feel like the music department here, like they need an Oscar or something. It's like they just know the right songs and the music to add to the situation. Like in that instance, how the dramatics of the music that they use,
They always
and
do
then
that.
in other they do. This is why I'm like they like need Oscars or whatever the award is for people that works in this part of the TV film.
Mm-hmm.
Because then even later on in some of the songs, I started paying attention. Like just me paying attention of listening to the lyrics of some of the songs. I'm like, oh dang, that like totally fits the situation that they're
Oh, they
in.
make the songs. Those are their songs that they make.
Oh
They've had
really?
those songs since early seasons. Some of the songs I recognize because I've watched some.
Oh,
So it'll be songs that are talking about decision day. There's songs talking about like if there's trouble in the water. There's songs about getting it on. There's songs that they've made up for this show. They're not real songs.
interesting. Okay. Because like I'm like, dang, those lyrics like really fit the situation.
It's
They
Tyler
must.
Perry. That's the Tyler Perry song.
I like whoever is in that department, they got a good ear. They must like know how to go find the right song, the right person, and find the lyrics that just fit the situation exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they need Oscar or something. Okay, so what else do you for Brianna and Vinny? So next I have that they're meeting Brianna's meeting with her mom,
Mm-hmm.
and so when they show the screen, her mom is on the camera, she's talking to her. And this just annoyed me probably.
The
They had the
mouse.
yes. I'm like, Brianna, move the mouse. Why are you leaving the mouse on your mom's face like that? Like, didn't production say, cut? Let's just move the mouse a little. That just annoyed me the whole time.
Because it was like right here, like most of the time, and then towards the end, it was like up here,
It
and I
was
was like, "Stop it! Now you done moved it. So why is it right here now?" I hate
yes. Okay, I'm not the only one. That's my best friend, y'all. Because I'm like, damn, move this. You see it yourself. Like, move the mouse.
nothing. It was a big old black mouse too. It was like it looked like a little fly.
Yeah.
It looked like that Mike Pence.
My the fly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Shoot, I don't remember what else her mom was saying because I really was caught up on that. But I know her mom was just kind of talking to her about, making a decision about when they called her bossy, what that meant. You
Mhm.
know, it wasn't like really like being direct, but just kind of like, a person that wants something to go their way. Um,
Yeah. I mean, her mom was being a mom. She was saying, if it does bother you, then you may need to let it go. Um, and you just need to kind of dig in a little bit more of what he's saying. So I thought her mom was being a mom, like a good mom to her, and kind of taking her side just to make sure, hey, make sure you're making a good decision for yourself.
right.
But then he meets with his friend. Is this the same friend he met?
No, no,
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Because
it's
I was gonna
somebody
say,
new.
oh, okay, because I don't know, his friends be making sense. Because he was just like, well, wouldn't you want a woman that is direct with you? You want to be guessing? Because that's how most of the women be. Just be guessing, like, what you want? Just tell me what you want. And Brianna don't have no filter on that. She just be like, yo, I want this, or I don't want this. The only thing with her is sometimes she pushes, even though he says what he wants. Where she's just like, but no, though, but this, but I want you to do this and this, and let me get you there. So I'm sure that's just something they'll have to get used to with each other on how to balance that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is my last hope. They better say yes. That's
Yeah,
my
I
last
think
hope.
still at the end, like most of the things that we've seen this season, that challenges that they've encountered are things that can be resolved.
Mhm.
Communication and some time to continue to get to know each other. Because again, it's only 8 weeks.
Yeah, I think everything on this show can be resolved. Every issue that's on this show could be resolved. You have to want to
Want
resolve
to,
it.
right?
So, like Haley and Jacob, Haley don't want to resolve nothing. So that's just how it's gonna be. And Eric and Virginia, Eric is oblivious. He feels like he's not doing anything wrong. So then nothing's gonna get fixed or resolved. And I feel like that's why Virginia is so hard and fast on her things, because she's just like, you don't change nothing for me. In front of people, you want
There's
to
no
tell,
compromise. Mhm.
right, you're telling people, I'll do anything, anything. And if that was the case, why is she so adamant that she don't want to move into the space if you're willing to do everything except for letting the cat sleep in the room? I just can't imagine that that's the truth, because she's so like, I do not want to move in there, because she knows how he is. So with Vincent and Brianna, I think they have a willingness to try to push past, but he's gonna have to understand that because somebody says something to you don't mean that you then have to go stab them in the back, like, well, let me tell you this,
Yeah.
because then it just creates this bigger situation than what it would be, instead of you just saying, wow, you think I'm disorganized, that kind of, or just don't say nothing right away. Even if it hurt your feelings, you just went straight to the, like, he's been holding that in his back pocket.
Like I
It
know
just,
I'm gonna keep this and play it when I need to.
right. It just seemed a little, malicious, or malintent, that he just was like, and bam. So he's going to have to work on when to bring up certain situation or how to respond to things that he doesn't like, you know, to make sure
Hmm.
that he's not like hurting the other person. So they go out to dinner and they just talk about their feelings. And I was just like, man, it's a fancy little restaurant. I'm gonna have to look that up next time I go to Atlanta.
Me too,
Got a
girl.
big
Me
old
too.
fish, cute little drinks. So I was like, oh, that's cute. So I think they kind of resolved it. I think they try to end this show with like, oh, Willie or Willie won't,
Of
that kind
course,
of thing.
yeah,
But I think they're gonna say yes. And then they go home, get ready for bed.
girl.
I'm like, where did he get these scissors from? He takes her braid and just,
Surprise! Wait, he was like, "I got a
wait, oh
surprise for
yeah,
you."
close your eyes.
Surprise! Yeah, go
They're
ahead.
getting ready for bed. I don't understand why at this time you feel the need to just cut one of her braids while
Talking about,
they're in bed.
yes. Talking about, oh, I thought you wanted to take your hair out,
That was so funny to me.
and
It
he
was
really did kind of. Either that's a really good actor, or he really was like, oh shoot, like I messed up, like I was supposed to do that.
Her mouth is just like, what? It's like, not now.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I thought that was so funny.
It was. I laughed.
Die. Mm-mm-mm. Listen,
Okay.
black women in their hair, you can't be doing stuff like that. Don't surprise
Listen,
me with none of that kind of stuff. Okay, leave my eyes open. I gotta see what you're doing.
right?
Mm-mm.
Listen. Braids that type of night. Like you said, in bed, like how that makes sense. And we're gonna take out all these braids
No,
now in bed.
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know, but yeah, I thought that was funny. Uh, okay. So Ryan and Clara, I wrote, she is turning into him. They were just talking about the times they went to bed and how at first she was just like, oh, I don't go to bed early. And now she's going to sleep the times that he's going to sleep, waking. Well, I don't know if she wakes up at the same time, but she does go to sleep early with him. And
Mm-hmm.
how she's slowly starting to turn into this little grandma just with
That's
long
what he
hair.
said, right? Oh, he's like, oh, he's turning her into an old soul. And I said, ooh, that goes back to what we were talking about the other week, where she was asking people about, do you feel like you're changing?
Yeah.
Because people are seeing that she is changing and
Mhm.
she has.
Yeah, because maybe she was going out more and now she's not. So yeah, I'm sure that's probably where that question came from. Is like, oh, do you feel like you're changing yourself for him? And she is.
So in this instance, is that a good or a bad thing? Because you do kind of right when you have a partner adapt. So
Yeah.
to me, I can see, okay, going to bed a little earlier than you used to. That's not a bad thing or something to me. But if he's like totally changing the person that you are, which I think they're alluding to, and we see a little bit that with that, being very the spunk that she had is
Yeah.
you don't see that so much. That's a bigger issue. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I think this I agree with that. It's just you're going to have some changes. You're going from a single person to a married person, sharing the same household. Like she was telling her friend, I feel like I have a built-in best friend. We watch movies together, blah 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 blah. So there are going to be some changes. It just seems, I don't know, she just seems so much sadder than how I thought she was from the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I'm wondering if she's kind of changing her personality. So,
Okay.
he meets with his friend, and the only thing I noted from that is that he says that she constantly wants to talk about her feelings all the time. Oh Lord. And then, oh, my husband noted that he wears a lot of like black centric clothing, and I was like, yeah, he always wears like Black Lives Matter. He wears like,
Equality. That's all he
yeah,
said. Mhm.
the different shirts like that. He's always wearing stuff like that. I never hear him talk about it, but that's not about the show. So I'm sure that's things that he talks about, but just not on camera. But he always be wearing them shirts. Like, I'm gonna wear this. You don't
Mhm.
know this about me. So, did you have anything else to add with his conversation with his friend?
Um, I have that he said his village challenge is the goal setting. Like,
Oh, because she don't have no
yeah, how they
long
would bet
term.
that flashback and that she doesn't have that internal drive and all that kind of stuff. And um I don't know if I see that as a challenge, but I can see where you want to have somebody that matches what you want. And like he says, maybe that's because she was just living her single life thinking about herself. But as he said, now it's we have to make goals and
Hmm.
he can help her on that part because that will help to come think about we, the two of us, and not as singles. So that's
Yeah.
it.
Um, she meets with her friend. She doesn't tell her friend any of the issues. She makes it sound like it's all hunky dory, everything is great. And then says that Ryan will not say no on decision day. Because I guess her friend was like, well, what if he says no? Oh, no, he won't do that.
I believe she's right.
Okay. Yeah. I think so too. She was
How
just so
confident she
sure.
was.
Yeah, she was just so sure of that. So I was like, okay, we'll see. So, so it brings me to my last point of they go play football bowling. I don't know what it's called. Never seen this thing before in my life.
Me either.
And he has on the tightest jeans
He did.
possible to go play something that you have to move around in. I'll be like, is that your blood pressure? I don't understand why these things were so
So
tight.
tight. Yeah.
And he was able to flex with them. I guess they stretchy because he was just like and throwing and bending over. I was just
Having a
like,
good old time. Yep.
goodness gracious, these things are tight. They look like them kind of jeans that you got to shimmy in. You got
Those things did look real tight, like he borrowed them out of her closet.
I'm
Because I'm like,
saying
okay, but like you said, they flexed because when he was like had to move to get his
he was moving.
going, he was doing what we have to do sometimes. We have to bend and stretch
Yeah,
it
you
out
got to
before
get them
you
in
start.
there.
Yeah, he was definitely doing all
Yeah.
that.
So I was just like, because everybody else was dressed up to go to dinner, and I saw them. I was like, is this their last dinner, or are they just hanging out? But that was their last dinner. That's who they are. So they go play, and she was all nervous, and that just wasn't her thing.
Definitely not up her lane. Yeah.
But they looked like they were at least, they had some kind of something there, like they enjoyed each other. Because, like I said, they just be so dry looking. And then they have dinner afterwards, and he was just saying this speech, like he's a grandpa. He's just like, I loved this experience. I loved being with you, or not love, but I had a good time. So no matter what, on decision day, I'm just, it doesn't matter what happens, blah, blah, blah. She was just like, excuse
What?
me? What do you mean it doesn't matter? It does matter. You gonna say yes, right? And so they kind of ended that scene with her walking off. I don't know why they don't finish scenes. Sometimes it's be like, what is this?
Got to keep you
So
hanging.
yeah. So I guess they're trying to allude, ooh, will they or won't they? Will they or won't
Tune
they?
in next week to find out.
Or 2 weeks from now, because I don't know what's happening next week. Do y'all know what's happening? Because it looks like there won't be an episode next week. Tell me in the comments, because I don't understand what the commercials are saying. So, you have anything else for them?
My last comment for the two of them is, of course, since the beginning of the show, the big thing with them has been that Ryan has never said "I love you,"
Mm.
and I was just thinking like Claire needs to really look at the actions and not the words, because he can easily say "I love you" and not mean it, and you want it to be meaningful, but the actions I think show that he definitely has some true deep feelings for her. Maybe not to the extent of love, but as I think Pastor Cal says, it's action, and I think his
Mm-hmm.
actions show that he is in love. He is doing what a married person would do. Even going back to when they had that one episode about the dogs, how he wants to try to get to know the dog better, and he was treating the dog like it's his own. So I think that in the end, that's really more important, is what are the actions and not necessarily the words.
Yeah, I mean Ryan's not the type of person to say I love you without meaning it. So
Right.
we know that for sure. But I feel like Claire, if you love him, just tell him that you love him.
Oh
Sometimes
yeah,
you gotta
for
push him
her.
over the deep end. You know, I think that happened in a previous season. I think Woody told Amani that he loved her first, and she was just like, oh, okay. And so she wasn't ready, but he was ready. Just if that's your feeling, tell him your
Yeah,
feeling.
let your feelings be known. Right.
And then maybe, he'll start thinking about that a little bit more introspectively and kind of evaluating it. And he realized now that might push him onto a timetable where he really has to think about it. I think right now he's just coasting, and he is putting her first in a lot of respect. They've already started moving in together. So like you said, his actions are showing that he wants a long-term relationship with you. So that is important. But you also have to, you know, speak your feelings as well. Tell them how you feel and keep
And
it
not
moving.
through just a letter, because the letter just sounds like
But that was
poetry.
it. Yeah, that I don't know what that was.
Just
You need to just tell
say it.
him, just
Mhm.
like what you telling him to do. Tell me your feelings. You tell him your feelings. You just want him to go first because you feel like I don't know he's gonna drop you. But if he's letting you move into his whole place, it doesn't look like somebody who's just gonna just fly and just leave you alone. He's trying. So I don't know. 10 out of 10.
Okay, so that's the recap of all the couples from this week. So do we want to make our predictions now?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start. Well, let's start with Clara and Ryan.
Okay.
Um, I think they're going to say yes. Both are going to say yes on decision day.
Yeah, they've already started with this whole moving plan. I can't imagine them saying no. But I want two predictions. I want decision
Oh,
day and I want
long
a
term.
year from now, because I don't know what long term, I'll still be looking
Oh,
up these couples. So a year from now, will they still be together? What you think?
yes. I think just like we talked about before, that they could coexist
I
and
think so too.
they'll be okay.
I agree. I agree. I
I think
think
they will definitely get to the actually having sex stage, and that right there will be enough for her to say,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah. So I agree. So yes and yes
yes and
for
yes.
Ryan and Clara, grandpa and grandma. I know change your name. So Virginia and Eric.
No.
Wait, decision day.
Oh, decision day. Eric, yes. Virginia, no.
I'm praying that Virginia will say no. Do I think that she will say no? I don't know. I She seems like a get on, go along, and then do it later kind of person. I think push is going to come to shove when she actually has to move, and she'll just probably be like, "I can't do this." So it would be, I guess, the shocker if she says no. I'm leaning towards them both saying yes and it not working out. So I say
Okay.
yes on decision day because I just don't know if she's going to
I
have the cojones to say no on that day
that day.
unless he does something crazy.
I think I thought that for sure towards the at beginning, going along till recently, and then like we've discussed, I feel like she's made drew her line in the sand, saying no, this is
Yeah.
what I need, those are my demands, and she knows he's not going to be okay with them. And I think when they get in and they have that little conversation with the experts, I think that'll give her enough to say no. Like it'll
No.
give her the strength to say no in that
I'm
situation.
hoping that's the case. That's what I
Okay.
would want to really stand up for yourself. You know, you don't want this man.
Right. Okay.
That's
So
what you
I'm a no for both. Lori is
a yes
yes,
and then a
but
no.
no for the 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
So
next.
then Vincent and Brianna.
Yes.
Yes, please, please, please.
Yes and
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes. See, see.
See.
Okay. That's for Vincent, you know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hope they say yes and they stay together. I don't know. And then Haley and Jacob.
No. No and no.
No. No. No.
You got to yell at her. No. 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 No.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
And then I guess for fun, Chris and Paige. Which have you seen the previews?
She was smiling again.
She was valid again. They both were, oh, I don't know. She was back to the, well, I really think God put us together for a reason.
What's the
And
reason?
I was like, girl, I hope this is only for the ratings and to get us to tune in and see what happens.
Ain't nothing
But
going on with that.
so I'm going to stick with no for the two of them.
I'm going to stick with hell no. Girl, you crazy. Don't even try it. I'll be like Dr. Viviana. He is messing with you. Leave
Yes.
her alone. Okay?
That's exactly what he did. He come back to that. Oh, well, you know what? I was really thinking of you doing that because you're on the camera and you're trying to get mess with her feelings.
Yep. That's all it is. So no, 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 no. So Our only hope is Vincent and Brianna, like I thought from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Ryan, Claire, I guess. Sure. Sure. Um,
So tell us your predictions in the
yes.
comment sections. What do you think? Who do you think is going to make it? What their decision is going to be on decision day? And
Mhm.
then 1 year from now, do you think if they said yes, are they going to still be together? Put it down in the comments below.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be back. If not next week, in 2 weeks to discuss decision day itself.
Yeah.
Um, we, as we said, we're looking for a new show to recap. Reality TV wise, we started watching Unmatchable, which premiered
Mm-hmm.
last week.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a little bit back last week, so you can go watch last week's episode to see our comments. This week's episode, I'm not even gonna lie, I was watching it late at night and I started falling asleep on it. So all I know is this one pretty boy who falls on his looks, and then this super athletic, competitive chick. Fill me in, Lord. What was the rest?
Nothing, man. They made him look ugly, so he was gonna hit on fake actors and actresses. They actually had him kind of connect with the black girl. I was like, oh, this is not who
Oh, I
he
did wake up and see a little bit of that.
Okay. So they, did that. They gave him a blow up doll. It was just like, stop
Oh,
looking at
okay, I missed that.
looks only. And you can't miss nothing. And then the girl, she was supposed to get over her past relationships and be more open and vulnerable. And so then they went out on a date. They went to Top Golf, because I've been there. And they had dinner. Like, her whole thing is that she eats like a 10-year-old because she likes chicken nuggets everywhere she goes. I like chicken nuggets. I don't care. Why does that matter? I don't understand. So
For every meal though, they made it sound like that's all she ate. Like pasta and chicken. Not even like chicken nuggets. It's the vegetable, plant-based chicken nuggets that
mhm.
she would eat.
How is
Oh,
that? What does it have to do with her dating life? She's alive. What's the I don't.
she said she alive.
She's not dead. She's fit. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't know how that can make you not have a man.
I guess it's yeah. Okay.
Because
But
you can
they
see
was
him. I don't see him be like, oh, you need to have a home cooked meal coming home to me. He don't care. He probably eat pizza and wings every day. So I don't understand.
they equated that to her being immature. That was their
Okay.
issue with it.
So,
The experts, that is.
yeah. So they go on the date, and she was just like, oh, they were like, is she going to order chicken nuggets? And she had a whole confession about how she wanted chicken nugs. I hate all of this, her verbiage for
Yeah.
everything. Oh, I wanted them nugs so bad, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, okay, I'm not going to have nugs. And he ordered a margarita flatbread pizza. And that was better because that's elevated pizza. So
Like
it's
for
better.
the scene of this date, there
They
would
went to
definitely
Top
been nothing
Golf.
wrong with her getting chicken nuggets.
Exactly. But that's what I was like, this whole episode was just like, oh, this is worse than the first one to me. So they were golfing, and then they kissed again. And so I asked my husband, like, okay, do you believe in this one? He's like, no. I didn't believe this one at all. I believe the other one more. So I was just like, all right. I don't know how I feel about Unmatchables. It's not even giving me a nice little what do you call it, like a replacement while Married at First Sight goes on hiatus after Decision Day. I don't care about it that much.
Yeah,
Mm-mm. I don't.
I would watch it. It records after Married at First Sight for me, so maybe I'll continue to watch just because
This
it's
girl fell
recorded.
asleep. Don't listen to her. She not watching
I'm about
it.
to say, but I might fall
This
asleep again
episode
though.
2, she already fell asleep on it. So talking about I'll watch it. She's not watching it,
Watch it
y'all.
to sleep. Yeah, yeah. It'll help me go to sleep, I
So I
guess.
don't know how many more reviews y'all gonna get from Unmatchables. Just enjoy it while you can. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, at least until we decide what the next show is going to be.
Okay.
And stay tuned. We'll let you know what that is. All right. Any last comments, Lori, before we get on out of here?
No.
Okay, y'all. Well, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit the subscription button below, like our videos, and go back and watch our previous recaps of Married at First Sight. We'll provide a link so you can see the playlist. And share, let other people know. If you have friends or family that watch Married at First Sight, even if they don't, let them know that they can come in and tune in and join a conversation with us, talk to us in the comments, and just support us. We appreciate all of our subscribers thus far, and
Yes.
we hope to continue to grow our fan base. Our fan base, girl. Yeah. Um, but again, thank you for watching and please subscribe. And before we leave, we want to remind you to do what?
Protect your throne.
Bye.
Bye.